Mill constantly has loud phone calls, doesn't clean her messes, acts like she owns common areas. So this is kind of a mild issue, which is why I thought to post here. But I am really worried about this, so I would appreciate any thoughts or advice on what to do. My fiancé is really supportive and I feel that he has really tried to get involved, but he knows his mom is really stubborn and I understand him being worried about her feeling hurt if he keeps pushing these issues. Sometimes I feel like my anxiety makes these things bother me more, but I also feel like it makes sense to feel upset about this. I'm in therapy and I've been through some traumatic things. I've made a lot of progress, but one of my fears is feeling gaslight like I was before, and this is starting to feel like that, which upsets me, mostly by her, not him. Short version, it's mostly loud phone calls, being controlling with the kitchen/dining room/living room, not wiping up messes even after being asked nicely. Mill lives with us and she has been through a lot. It's hard to explain, but I really want to support her living with us. I just want to find some peace. One issue is that she fries a lot of food with oil and is messy for some reason. Pretty often. Even when we ask nicely, she does not clean up the oil splatters all over the oven or walls. One day I went to cook and the burner lit on fire from oil accumulating. Literally flames coming from it. It went out on its own after a few seconds, but it freaked me out. I feel like I'm finally feeling better over the situation though, because my fiancé bought a pack of 100 disposable burner liners that he changes often and it helps, but honestly it is really gross and hard to keep up with it. I don't like always using disposable things, but this seems like a pattern that we are having to work around her issues. There's water being splashed in the bathroom when she is done, and even though I've asked nicely, she stubbornly is not wiping it. I think she splashes water on the toilet to wash herself, and then when I sit down I get wet. It really bothers me. I don't know why it seems like it's getting worse. Like, is she trying to upset me or is she washing herself more? When I'm in the kitchen she will squeeze her way through and open the cupboards and it almost hits me in the head. I have asked her nicely, next time just ask and I can move for you whenever. It happens again and again. She often hovers as though she is waiting for me to be done. And I have nicely told her, we can share the kitchen, whenever you need the kitchen, just let me know and I really don't mind. When she's in the kitchen, I will wait, but if it's been a while and I just want a quick snack or coffee, I have to ask nicely multiple times before she will let me get a cup or plate. It feels like she does not want to share the kitchen and I don't get it. I try to talk to her about it and it's like she goes into silent mode. There isn't a language barrier because she speaks fluent English really well, I've heard her, but it's like she doesn't want to say anything, or she will nod or say okay, but then she will do it again. What is bothering me the most is I feel that I can't use the living room or dining room because of her loud phone calls. When she is getting ready for her night shifts at the dining table, mostly putting on serum/lotions on her face, but it takes a while having loud phone calls on speakerphone. When we want to watch a movie and relax we can't. The apartment is really small, so the only way to get away from the noise would be go to our bedroom. She refuses to lower her volume or go to her room. So then we have to go to our bedroom for quiet, but we are grown adults and shouldn't have to always do this. Not exaggerating when I say it's almost every night. Speakerphone on full blast, and she's shouting, having a great time, laughing. I used to work night shift, I get how hard it is. But I don't get why so noisy and why always the dining table. It's also about what it represents, that she cannot be considerate of how I feel and share the space. There is no compromising. I've tried. He has tried giving her headphones and she told him it doesn't feel fun if it's not loud. That made me feel so mad and disrespected. He has asked her to go to her room, but she said she would feel stuck in her room. He told me she said to him, if you don't want me here I understand, with a sad look. I felt guilty. I told him no, it's not like that, I just want her to be considerate of me. Now I'm the one who feels stuck in the bedroom all the time. She seems to enjoy phone calls a lot. Barely any time will go by before she gets another phone call from someone. Not just night but all hours of the day. I love my fiancé so much, but I feel really upset about these things. I have a few vacation days because I needed time off work and I've been going out to coffee shops and things I enjoy. But when I'm at home I feel upset and trapped. Comment. I just want her to be considerate of me. Well, she has made it very clear that she doesn't want to be considerate of you. Not only that, she is doubling down on the things that bother you. She is purposely making you uncomfortable in your own space. I know you have a vision of helping your mother-in-law and living a peaceful existence. You need to recognize that isn't going to happen. She doesn't want to, and so far she has no consequences to tell her otherwise. So you need to decide if you are willing to live like this or not. Hopefully, your answer is not, so the next step would be telling your husband that his mother needs to find other living arrangements. Hopefully he is respectful of you and agrees. She is establishing control. She is making you accommodate her in your home. Sit her down and give clear boundaries. This is our home, you are a guest, we expect you to do these things. If you can't, then you will need to find another place to live. You and DH work out your list together. But definitely things like personal hygiene not in shared areas and no phone calls on speaker in common areas and general cleanliness should be on the list. And feel free to call her a disgusting pig every time you go to use the bathroom and it is covered in water. No, she's not living with you, you are living with her. She's made that clear. She's queen of the castle and will do as she pleases. She doesn't have to listen to you, little kitties. Doesn't matter that it's your place that you so generously offered to her because you really want to support her. She's taking gleeful and full advantage of that. Deliberately. She's been through a lot, you say? Yeah, well, a lot of us have been through a lot, yet we still manage to be courteous and respectful of others. Especially to those who are kind and generous to us. We don't use that as an excuse to be an inconsiderate asshole. She's a taker and a user. Get used to that. Don't expect her to change. Fiancé would have to come down hard on her rudeness and disrespect and give her an ultimatum, respect or get out. If that's not an option, you're screwed. This is your life. Get used to it. You are second fiddle in your own home, banished to your bedroom when you want some respite from her deliberate chaos and throwing her weight around. So you're not married? Yeah, well, if you were me, I wouldn't go through with getting married until this untenable living situation is sorted out. As in, mill out. That's the only solution. She won't change. They never do. You can't make her like you, or apparently even be considerate toward you. She's a terrible roommate. Anyone else would have been kicked out long ago. Why does she not have to behave as a somewhat considerate human being? Boundaries do not work without consequences. If she knows you will never kick her out, she has absolutely no incentive to change anything. Your fiancé is not being really supportive. He's made a token effort, and it has changed absolutely nothing. Her feelings should not be so much more important than yours, especially in your own home. It will be difficult, but consequences must be put in place. She makes some major changes, or she finds her own place to live, end of. You are two grown adults living your own lives in your own home, or should be. If she refuses to compromise, then neither should y'all. I feel like she is deliberately trying to push you out so she can live there with her son all by herself. Is that what he wants? If not, well, she needs to get her act together or move out and live her own damn life. If she works and has friends, she can move out into a studio or single or get a roomie or even save for a down payment for a small 2-bedroom condo and get a roommate that will more fun for her. He needs to have another talk and pull out a chores and timeshare chart that you and he put together with days and times that each person cleans different rooms with solid responsibilities and who gets to swap living room and dining room time and who needs to stay in their bedroom. If she sad eyes at moving out, he can tell her, great. Here's how we can all share and be respectful while having our space and being safe and clean. Either you'll have a better situation or she'll get offended and leave. Both are wins. PS splatter guard and second fire extinguisher. Next story 2. Difficulty with Mill with impending baby. My Mill and I used to be close and she's a really nice sweet lady. However, since being pregnant, now 16 weeks first time mom, I've realized a few things about her that are rubbing me the wrong way. First, she'll ask me almost every day how I'm feeling. The answer I want to say is like bad, but I try to say okay. No follow-up no matter how I respond or progression in the conversation. She only really asks questions just to see how the baby is doing. Lately, she has ignored everything I say, or when I try to talk about work, she changes the subject. She also thinks she's entitled to everything since she's DH's mother. When I told her we were having a gender reveal, she asked if grandma can get a sneak peek. I explained that me and DH don't know and only one of my friends, who offered to throw the party, knows. A few weeks later, Mill and Phil are in town for a party for my husband and I, and she asks again the night before the party. I explained again the situation and that this week we were celebrating my husband and I and that the gender reveal would be later next month. At the party, she apparently was interrogating my friends to see which one knew the gender. I don't even know the gender. Recently, I told my in-laws that I'm busy due to school work and can't leave town until the semester is over. I also have horrendous morning sickness and can't travel well. 2 weeks later I got a text message inviting me and DH to go on a trip to Atlantic City at the end of the month. I politely said I can't come due to school work and papers, I'm in law school, and DH said he could come. Should be end of story? But no, instead almost every day leading up to the trip, she said we wish you were coming and I would say I wish I could too, I'm just busy but I hope you have a great time. Then on the trip, she asks to FaceTime. And it's to show me where they are staying. And then every day on the trip she said we wish you were here. And you have to bring the baby next year. I told DH this was bothering me and to please talk to her and he did. After the trip, Mill says I don't think it's a good idea if you come next year, the baby might be too small. I don't know why but this just rubbed me the wrong way. After the trip, Mill calls to ask when she can come stay with us when the baby is born and that she's asked for time off. I currently don't have room for her to stay with us and I honestly don't feel comfortable right now having her around our child. She is very obsessed with DH and doesn't let him lift a finger. She even refers to my Phil as daddy when DH is around even though he's a grown man. I also asked that when she comes to help, that she will need to teach DH so he can do things on his own. She said don't worry I'm a mother. I know I'll need the help, but I don't know how to put up boundaries or trust her since she constantly disrespects me. Am I overreacting? Comment. Sounds like she will be more stressed than help. Give her tasks she can help with maybe, but I would not allow her to come help, let alone stay. Nope. Mill, some pre-made freezer meals would be great if you could have them delivered. Mill, I'm looking for a X-colored blanket with X-colored stars. Could you look online for me? Keep her busy at a distance. You'll be leaking, bleeding, hormonal and protective of baby. Her coming would 100% not be helpful. I just want to share that I'm dealing with the same exact scenario. We were so close and now Mill is obsessed with baby, almost as if the baby is a new way to prove herself as a mom. I can give endless annoying stories about how overbearing she has been my whole pregnancy. I have learned and am still working through the fact that disappointing her with my boundaries will just have to do. Repeat what you say as a broken record. For example, we don't need your help with. My therapist said to be calm and firm in my decisions for the baby, so now I have been confidently putting my Mill in her place in this way. Why do they get so weird? My Mill had to know all of my ultrasound appointments, gave me horrible unsolicited advice and would share everything I shared to her with her fam. It's like they are anxious about the fact that their son just made their own family and they are trying hard to be apart. Don't let her come post-baby until the 4th trimester is over. Have a list of things for her to do/help with. Always shut her down when she mentions she's a mother, she's a grandma now and her job is to support the active mom, not usurp her in her role. I can totally see her calling baby hers so you'll need to shut that down too. She's probably gung-ho about trips so she can try establish traditions to monopolize time with baby and your DH. Your adults and your nuclear family comes first, create your own new traditions and only do holidays out if you're up for it. Once I had more than one kid I decided to give up the schedule of switching between extended family holiday stuff. We go if want or we do it just us and the kids. Setting boundaries and having consequences ready for when she breaks them is a good place to start for now. Congrats. Good luck. You got good advice on how to keep sane your 4th trimester, but in regards to vacation, Mill was trying to punish you for not complying with her request to see them. You told them you were busy, she's pissed, but tries to entice you by dangling a vacation in front of you. You don't fall for the manipulation ploy to get them to see them and hold your ground through her repeated demands. Now she's really pissed, so she tries to make you have FOMO for not going. Asking to FaceTime and show you where they were staying. OMG please. Since you didn't cave the entire time she now says oh too bad you didn't come on this vacation, like she demanded, because now you might not get to come next year. Boo-hoo. She wants you to be so jealous that you always jump to come see her when she tells you to because you might miss something good. All you're missing is listening to her bother you about some nonsense. It will be worse next year after the baby is here. Go on vacation next year just the 3 of you. Show her she can't buy your attention. And stop responding to her annoying messages with words. Use one of the reactions or emojis. Is DH her only child? You give permission to your friend group to pin Mill's ears back when/if she tries the 21 question game again with them. If she wants to come, 8 weeks after delivery and stay at an hotel/Airbnb, DH needs to be blunt, she will be cooking, then cleaning through dishes and doing the laundry, not sitting on the couch holding baby and cooing. DH and you need to stop this her behaviors towards the pregnancy the two of you are sharing and soon. This book is at libraries and cheap for used copies online. The Nice Girl Syndrome, Stop Being Manipulated and Abused and Start Standing Up for Yourself book by Beverly Engel. Don't let her stay with you post-party. She's viewing you as an incubator and forgetting that you're a human growing another human. I suspect her idea of helping after birth is holding the baby while you do household chores, after shoving a human out of you and going through hormone changes. Just know. Make a list of boundaries now, as well as consequences for breaking them, and stick to it.